This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with a free college football pick show here for Week 8, Part 3. And these games will be 10 from a Saturday. Before we get underway, if you're looking for more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my page over at Tony'sPicks.com. All right, let's get you started here on the show. We'll start off here with Kent and Bowling Green. Kent fell to 0-6, a 37-35 home defeat to Ball State. The Golden Flashes gained 461 yards, 67 rushing for 3.2 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 406 yards to the Cardinals, 191 rushing for 4.9 yards a carry. Tommy Oltowski here goes 17 of 36 passing for 394 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. Bowling Green drops to 2-4, a 17-7 home defeat to Northern Illinois. The Falcons put up 210 yards, 112 rushing for 3.4 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 278 yards to the Huskies with 170 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. Connor Bazelak, 8 of 14 passing for 88 yards and a touchdown. Kent has struggled offensively this season as the team rushes for 1.9 yards a carry and completing 50% of their passes. On defense, the Golden Flashes allow 271 yards rushing per game, 7 yards per pass attempt. Opponents complete 68% of their passes for 8.7 yards per pass attempt against them. Bowling Green runs for 4.5 yards a carry. They are getting accurate and efficient play at the quarterback position. On defense, they allow 4.8 yards per rush, 60% completions, 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Kent has picked up the scoring and the passing average against the conference. They're putting up 34 points per game against the MAC and allowing 44.5. Golden Flashes 10-5 in the over as a road underdog. Play here will be Kent and Bowling Green over 55.5. All right, next up we got Toledo and Northern Illinois here. Toledo now 4-2. They lose 30-15 on the road to Buffalo. The Rockets put up 418 yards. They rushed for only 46 yards for 2.9 yards a carry. On defense, they gave up 377 yards to the Bulls, 230 rushing for 4.4 yards a carry. Tucker Gleason here, 14 of 26 passing for 145 yards. He did rush for 20 yards and exited with an injury. He is questionable for Saturday. John Allen Richter, 16 of 23 passing for 227 yards and 2 touchdowns. Sophomore is in line for the starter role if Gleason is unavailable. Northern Illinois, they moved to 4-2, a 17-7 home win to Bowling Green. The Huskies gained 278 yards, 170 rushing for 3.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they held the Falcons to 210 yards, 98 passing on 23 attempts. Ian Hampton, 5 of 7 passing for 19 yards. He departed due to injury and is questionable here on Saturday. Josh Holtz relieved and completed 10 of 14 passes for 89 yards. He did rush for 47 yards and a touchdown. Toledo has struggled this season on the ground as they average 3.2 yards a carry. They are efficient and accurate passing team as they average 8.1 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they hold opponents at 3.2 yards a carry with 6.8 yards per pass attempt. Northern Illinois is a running team with 221 yards rushing per game, 4.8 yards a carry on the ground. They average 7.2 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they limit foes to 3.1 yards per rush, 6.2 yards per pass attempt. The backup shows more promise for NIU here at the quarterback position than for Toledo. The Rockets average 22 points a game against the MAC and rush for only 2 yards per carry. They are 5-10 to the spread on the road. Play Northern Illinois here at -3. Next up, UAB and South Florida. UAB now 1-5. They lose 44-10 on the road to Army. The Blazers gained 303 yards, 61 rushing for 2.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 515 yards to the Black Knights, 413 rushing for 7.5 yards a carry. Jacob Zeno missed the past 2 games due to injury and is questionable here. Jalen Kitna, 25 of 39 passing for 242 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. USF now they're 2-4, a 21-3 home defeat to Memphis. The Bulls gained 258 yards, 24 rushing for only on 19 attempts. Defensively, they held the Tigers at 345 yards, 208 passing on 40 attempts. Byron Brown, he missed the game due to injury and is questionable for Saturday. Bryce Archie, he goes 22 of 41 passing for 234 yards and a pick. UAB here is rushing for 4 yards a carry, and in the passing game has generated 64% completion rate, 6.4 yards per pass attempt. On defense, though, it's in a really bad season here for UAB here, allowing 258 yards rushing for 5.5 yards a carry and 8.2 yards per pass attempt. USF rushed for 4.2 yards a carry, but has been inefficient at the quarterback position with 57% completion rate for 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, the Bulls allow 4 yards a carry, but 8.7 yards per pass attempt. USF has played the tougher schedule. The Blazers have allowed 41 points or greater in their past 3 games. UAB 3-13 of the spread on the road. Play here will be on USF minus 13.5. All right, next up we got Michigan and Illinois college football pick here for Saturday's action. Michigan 4-2 now after a 27-17 road defeat at Washington. The Wolverines posted at 287 yards, 174 rushing for 4.7 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 429 yards to the Huskies with 315 passing on 33 attempts. Jack Tuttle here, 10 of 18 passing for 98 yards with a touchdown and pick. They're down to their third string quarterback as Alec Orji was ineffective. Illinois improved to 5-1. A 50-49 home win to Purdue. Final Illini gained 556 yards, 177 rushing for 4.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 536 yards to the Boilermakers, 297 passing on 26 attempts. Luke Altmaier here goes 20 of 34 passing for 379 yards with 3 touchdowns. Michigan rushing for 5.1 yards a carry. Team is just inefficient in the passing game, defensively allowing 2.9 yards per rush, 6.5 yards per pass attempt. Final Illini runs for 3.9 yards a carry. They are a good passing team, 67% completion rate, 8.6 yards per pass attempt. Defensively holding teams to just about 4.5 yards a carry, just under 7 yards per pass attempt. But the passing game and pass defense has been worse for the Wolverines in conference. They are allowing 285 yards passing for nearly 7 yards per pass attempt against the Big Ten. Play Illinois plus 3.5. All right, here we go with NC State and Cal college football pick. Here we go for Saturday. NC State now 3-4 after their 24-17 home defeat to Syracuse. The Wolfpack gained 411 yards, 82 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 424 yards to the Orange, 346 passing yards on 43 attempts. Grayson McCall questionable with a concussion, and he missed last week's game. CJ Bailey went 17-24 for 329 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. California drops at 3-3, a 17-15 road loss at Pittsburgh. The Golden Bears put up 335 yards, 63 rushing on 40 attempts. Cal allowed 277 yards to the Panthers with 144 rushing for 5.1 yards a carry. Fernando Mendoza connected on 27-37 passing for 272 yards with a touchdown. NC State struggles on the ground, averaging less than 4 yards a carry. They are efficient in the passing game, 66% completion rate, 7.6 yards per pass attempt. On defense, the Wolfpack allows 4.7 yards per rush with 6.9 yards per pass attempt. Cal, poor rushing team, 3.4 yards to carry on the ground. They pass well, 65% completions for 7.8 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they limit foes to 3.7 yards per rush, 55% completions. NC State's numbers have been poor on the road. They're giving up over 6.5 yards to carry on the ground, 8.2 yards per pass attempt. And they gave up 59 at Clemson. NC State has dropped 3 of 4, including 2 straight at home. NC State 3-11 on the spread on the road. Cal 8-1 on the spread at home following a road game. Play Cal here minus 10. All right, next up, Houston and Kansas college football pick Saturday. Houston now 2-4, a 30-19 road win at TCU. The Cougars gained 361 yards, 207 rushing for 4.7 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 300 yards to the Horned Frogs, 66 of them rushing for 3 yards a carry. Zion Chris here, 15 of 18 passing for 141 yards with a touchdown. He rushed for 97 yards and a score. Kansas drops to 1-5, a 35-31 road defeat at Arizona. Jayhawks put up 411 yards, 151 rushing for 4.6 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 481 yards to that Sun Devils team with 309 rushing for nearly 7 yards a carry. Jalen Daniels, 18 of 31 passing for 260 yards with 2 touchdowns. He also had a rushing touchdown in the game. Houston rushes for 4.2 yards per carry. They are accurate in the passing game, but averages just 6.5 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they limit foes to 4.1 yards per carry with 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Kansas is a good offensive team as they run for 5.3 yards a carry, but are inaccurate at the quarterback position. On defense, they allow 4.6 yards per carry, 8.2 yards per pass attempt. The Cougars' point production on the road averaging just 14 points a game. On defense in the conference, they've really struggled against the run and pass play. Kansas minus 5.5. Rice and Tulane college football pick Saturday. Rice now 2-4 after their 29-27 home win to UTSA. The Owls gained 389 yards, 42 rushing for 2 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 364 yards to the Roadrunners with 256 passing yards on 43 attempts. E.J. Warner here, 25 of 39 passing for 347 yards, 2 touchdowns. Tulane now 4-2. A 71-20 road win at UAB. The Green Wave put up 497 yards, 317 rushing for 6.3 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 305 yards to the Blazers with 75 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. Darren Mensah goes 12 of 15 passing for 134 yards and a touchdown. Tulane, a good offensive team as they rush for 215 yards per game, 5.2 yards per rush. Green Wave completes 66% of their passes for nearly 10 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they limit opponents to 4.3 yards a carry on the ground, just 58% completion rate. Rice, a good running team, running for nearly 5.5 yards a carry, but the passing game has been inefficient. They do limit teams to 3.9 yards per carry and only 58% completions. The Owls' offensive performance has been poor on the road in their blowout losses to Army and Houston. Tulane's passing numbers better at home. Play Tulane here at minus 22. All right, we got FAU and UTSA college football pick for Saturday's action. FAU now 2-4, a 41-37 home defeat to North Texas. The Owls produced 519 yards, 168 of them rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 484 yards to the Mean Green, 336 passing on 45 attempts. Cam Fencher is questionable with the turf toe. He completed 22 of 30 passes for 351 yards and 3 touchdowns, had 2 picks in the game. He rushed for 69 yards. UTSA now drops to 2-4, a 29-27 road defeat at Rice. The Roadrunners gained 397 yards, 138 rushing for 3.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 389 yards to the Owls, 347 passing yards on 39 attempts. Owen McCown, 28 of 43 passing for 256 yards and 3 touchdowns. He did rush for 53 yards in the game. FAU rushing for 4.7 yards a carry and is averaging 7.3 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they allow 210 yards rushing per game with 5.3 yards per rush. Opponents complete 51% of their passes on the Owls. Defense here, UTSA averages 3.9 yards a carry, 6.3 yards per pass attempt. The Roadrunners defend the run well by surrendering 284 yards passing per game for 9.2 yards per pass attempt. The Owls are 4-3 to the spread as a road dog. Play here will be on UTSA here at +6. All right, we got Hawaii and Washington State. College football pick here for Saturday. Hawaii now 2-4, a 28-7 home defeat to Boise State. The Warriors gained 279 yards, 15 of them rushing on 24 carries. Defensively, they allowed 450 yards to the Broncos, 233 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Braden Shager here, 21 of 36 passing for 264 yards with a touchdown. Washington State now 5-1. a 25-17 road win at Fresno State. The Cougars produced 295 yards, 123 rushing for 3.6 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 338 yards to the Bulldogs, 220 passing on 36 attempts. John Mateer now 17 of 35 passing for 172 yards with a pick, I should say. He rushed for 46 yards and a touchdown. Now Hawaii, they're really struggling running the football, 3.3 yards a carry, and also issues with quarterback accuracy. Defensively, giving up 4.2 yards a carry to 6.6 yards per pass attempt. Cougars, really good offensive team here, running for 5 yards a carry. They're throwing for 277 yards a game, 8.5 yards per pass attempt. WSU has issues defensively by allowing 5.3 yards per rush, 7 yards per pass attempt. Hawaii's pass defense is worse on the road. The Cougars are putting up 54 points per game at home. Play Washington State here minus the 18.5. All right, next up, James Madison and Georgia Southern college football pick. This one here on Saturday. Georgia Southern will be the home team here. James Madison now 5-1, a 39-7 home win to Coastal Carolina. The Dukes gained 421 yards, 222 rushing for 5.3 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 181 yards to Chanticleers, 102 passing on 26 attempts. It was Lonzo Barnett here going 16 of 28 passing for 109 yards and a rushing touchdown. Georgia Southern moves to 4-2, a 24-23 home win to Marshall. The Eagles put up 422 yards, 93 of them rushing for 2.9 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 389 yards to Thunder and Herd, 200 rushing for 4.7 yards a carry. J.C. French, 16 of 26 passing for 194 yards and a pick. He took a hit to the head in the game and is probable after clearing the concussion protocol. The Dukes, a strong offensive team. They rush for 5.2 yards a carry and throw for 8.7 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, allowing 4.2 yards a carry, just 6.6 yards per pass attempt. Georgia Southern, they're a subpar running team under 4 yards a carry in the passing game. A pretty efficient team here, 287 yards a game, 7.5 yards per attempt here. The Eagles defense has struggles, giving up 6 yards a carry, 282 yards passing, 8 yards per pass attempt. Georgia has defended well in the conference, though. Lost at Ole Miss and Boise State at home. They really skew their defensive numbers. They've won 4 of 5. Eagles 10-5 of the spread at home. Play will be Georgia Southern here at plus the 10. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bets, my premium picks, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my page at Tony'sPicks.com. And if you appreciate our work here, give us a like and thumbs up on this video. It helps our channel. I'm Tony T. We will talk with you later.